What's up, Sun Rays? Welcome back to the channel. It's Ray. If you're new here, welcome. I was getting ready to wash my hair, and then I said, you know what? This would be a perfect time to do a detangling with the Unbrush. So in a previous video or vlog, I showed you guys that I picked up this Unbrush because people were in the comments asking me if I was going to get it and review it, and I said no because it looks so similar to the brush that I already liked, because I already did a brush, best detangling brush kind of video here, and I didn't think it was necessary, so I wasn't going to do it. Now I will say, hopefully you guys can see my hair okay. I don't have my other light in here. It's downstairs and I don't feel like going to get it, so hopefully you can see, you know, what's going on. Hopefully I got enough light in here that you can see what's going on. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. We are going to compare the Unbrush to my favorite detangling brush and see what it does. So I've never used this. As you can see, it's clean. I've never used it. I just took it out of the box, and it looks very similar to the brush that I have. If you look at it, it is a tad bit longer, not much, but a tad bit, and they both have, you know, similar bristles and things of that sort. Now, I will say right now, filling the brushes, this one is just a little bit heavier. The handle feels more solid because it is a little bit thicker, so it feels a little bit more solid, even though this one is a little bit longer. The handle's a little bit longer. But this brush just feels like it has a little bit more heft. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, yeah. So at first glance, they look very similar. But what I did notice is that this brush, if you look at it, all the bristles are the same length on this brush. All the bristles are the same length. On the Unbrush, there are shorter bristles. So long, then short, long, then short, if you can see. So that's a difference. I didn't notice that before until I got them side by side. So that is a difference. So we're going to see, you know, if I can feel that in the detangling. When I do like this to these bristles, they feel plastic. They do feel flexible, but they feel a little bit sturdy to the hand. When I do it to this brush, these bristles also feel plastic, but cheaper. They don't feel as flexible. And they don't feel as dense. And I think that is because all of these are the same length. So when I do like this, my hand is going up against it. That's why when I get down in my roots, I feel like it's getting to my scalp good. So all the bristles are knocking up against my hand, so it feels sturdy and dense. This one bends, and because the bristles are not all the same length, it doesn't feel as sturdy and as dense, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's that. Like I said before, okay, so when I run my fingers against the Unbrush bristles like this, they feel really thin and somewhat cheap and somewhat textured, like they have a little bit of roughness to them or texture to them. When I run my fingers against this one, they feel, the plastic feels thicker, feels very smooth, and I just like the feel of this better. Just feels like my hair will glide off of it, where this one doesn't feel as smooth, in my opinion. You can hear that sound. This sound feels, you can still hear a sound, but this sounds This sound is a deeper, thicker sound, and this is real flimsy like. Okay, so there you go. Enough about the brushes. So I am going to start in the back, and I'm just going to detangle the hair and see which one I like better. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. For my detangler, I am going to use the pattern Detangling Nectar. I like this as a detangler. I used it before on my channel. I'll try to link it here if you haven't seen it, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it again for those people who are just now coming to the channel and may have missed that video. So this is a Detangling Nectar. It has in it sea moss, aloe vera, and grapeseed oil. To, you know, that's where the slippage and everything comes from. It also says for best detangling, here's a tip, for best detangling, hydrate, mist your hair with the hydrating mist first and then use this, and that gives you even extra slip. For me, this had enough slip where I didn't have to do that, and I don't have the mist anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead with this. But basically you apply it to your hair, you detangle, and then you can rinse it out. You also can use this as a leave-in if you want to, or a curl primer. So I'm using it as a detangler today, and I will show you the consistency if you can see that. Okay, so that's the consistency of it, very thin and slippery like. You can apply it to wet or dry hair. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply it to my dry hair. You guys have enough light? Let me go get the other light. Hold on. How is that? Is that better? It's a little bit better. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to apply about 2 pumps of the nectar on my hair. And I'm going to go in with, you know what, this is the looser part. So let's use this. I want y'all to say you used your brush on the looser part, and then when you got to the tough part, you use the unbrush. Let's use the unbrush on the looser part down here. Okay, not bad, not bad. That's how good that nectar is too. So people who don't like the nectar, I'm not really sure why they don't like it and why they say it don't have any slip, because it does to me. So I'm going to take another section. And I'm going to use mine. Okay. Okay. Getting a little bit thicker. Going to use Unbrush again. All right, and then the thickest section. Okay. So I do have some hair in both. Okay. So let me do this front side. I got all those twists. Let me do this front side with one brush, and then I'm gonna do this front side with another brush, and we just gonna see. We just gonna really give it a good college try.
She wanna know me, I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home, if you let me put it down.
I am coming away with some thoughts.
Keep the moves on tuck, I know it's all love. Everything good, keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good, know it's all love, know it's all love.
Okay. Okay. All right, now let's do this side. With my brush. Not the brush I normally use. The Curl Keeper. Let's call it by its name. The Curl Keeper Kinder Care brush.
When I get lonely, I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I come in town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck, I know it's all love. Everything good, keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good, good. Know it's all love, know it's all love.
Okay. Okay, so guys, I got some thoughts, and I am going to finish my hair out. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one with my brush. And then I left this back section because I want to do it in the shower on wet hair. I want to use both brushes in the shower and see how I feel about them in the shower. And then I'll come back and we'll finish up this review. Okay? Okay. I'm going to leave all the hair that's in the brushes so when I come back I can show you how much each brush took out, and I can tell you if I like it better on just damp hair as opposed to wet hair and things of that sort. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so I am back and I am deep conditioning my hair while I give you my results on the brushes. Okay, so here's my honest opinion. So here's both the brushes. This is the hair, which I'll show you. I put them on here. So the Unbrush, you saw that I did 2 sections back here, and then the section up here, and this is what I got. This is the hair that I got, shed hair that I got when I was up here. And then when I was in the shower, I did half of this section in the shower to see how it worked in the shower. And this is the hair that came out. So all together, here is the hair from the Unbrush. Okay. Same thing, did the same amount. Half of the section back here, 1 section up front. And this is the hair that came out with, can y'all see it? Here's the hair that came out with the curl keeper. And then I did half of this section in the back, and this is the hair that came out with the curl keeper. So if I put them together, this is all the hair. So here's the curl keeper hair, here's the Unbrush hair, trying to hold them, get them. So okay, very similar amount of hair. This one I have just a little bit less. Okay, the Unbrush may be just a little bit smaller, but not much. And I'm going to contribute that to, I was using the Unbrush on my looser textures because the bristles were not as firm as this one. So I thought it would be better to use this one on my thicker, denser, more tangled textures. Was that right or wrong? I don't know. That's what I did. Okay. So with that said, my thoughts. Okay. So when I was using the Unbrush, I felt like because these were softer, I felt like it didn't get through my hair as well. Now it did detangle great, but I felt like when I was trying to get to the root, I had to really press to get this down into the root of my hair through that thickness. You saw me kind of pull it apart and then go in closer to the root to make sure that I was getting it detangled. So I will say that about this. I also said that I felt like the bristles were a little more textured than the other one, and they are, but it did not take away from the glide of the brush. So hey, even though it's that way, it didn't take away from me being able to detangle, so that's a pro. I felt like because they're softer that I was able to get through the hair quite nicely. I felt like it detangled very well, very comparable to what I like, even though it does have different size bristles. So I think that this Unbrush would be really good for any hair type really, but because of the flimsiness of it and because my hair is real thick and dense and I want to get through all of that and get to my scalp and make sure I'm getting all the things out, I think this might work really well for finer hair, less dense hair. You probably could get right to your scalp with no problem with this. So yeah. Now this one was the one that I liked. It was my favorite. Still feel like the bristles are longer. When I detangle with this, I can do bigger sections with this than I can with this. Is that good or bad? It depends on what your preference is. Should you do big sections? Should you do small sections? It depends on what your hair can take. My hair can take bigger sections, but it's probably always better to do smaller sections. So hey, you weigh that. But this one can definitely get through thicker sections in my opinion, and it gets right down to my scalp. I don't feel like I have to separate my hair. Now I did one time with this just to see if any tangles were left behind, and they weren't, even though I had, they weren't when I did it in the whole section, but I was just double checking to make sure. Maybe I'm thinking this is getting to it and it's not. Yes, this is getting to it. I can feel it on my scalp and getting through my hair. So I like that about this one. And because it's sturdy, I feel like, I have a better handle on it and grip on it. Now, with that said, because these are sturdier, it could be why more hair came out, because it wasn't as flexible. But really, I think it's because I just have some tighter textures and I use this for the tighter textures. So when I use these both in the shower on wet hair in the back, I felt like both of them detangled equally. I felt like both of these brushes work best in the shower on wet hair. Now, they worked well outside the shower with a pre-poo, so if that's what you do, they still would work well for that. But if you don't pre-poo and you go right into the shower and you start your hair, these would work well for that too, okay? And I'm going to continue to probably use them in the shower, okay? So, which one do I like better? They're pretty similar. They're pretty similar. So I would purchase both of these. If something happened to this one and I couldn't find this one, I wouldn't have any problem picking up the Unbrush. If the Unbrush is cheaper, if you're looking for this one and it's out of stock, and the Unbrush is cheaper, pick up the Unbrush. It's going to do the exact same thing. And these, like I said, these bristles are just a little longer and they're all one length, where these are has long ones and short ones, and they're a little softer, just a little bit, not much, but they both work well. Now, what I'm probably going to do, because the Unbrush was less expensive, and I had planned on getting my son one of these, I'm probably going to give him the Unbrush, and I'm probably going to keep this one just because I'm used to it. I have it. So, but again, if something happens to this, I wouldn't mind picking up the Unbrush if it was less expensive. At one point, this Unbrush was just as expensive as this one, and I'm like, But yeah, guys, this thing went viral. Some people are trying to say all these are dupes. I don't know which one is the dupe. I know that I've heard about curlkeeper for years. Just started hearing about the Unbrush, so maybe the Unbrush is a dupe. But they are somewhat different. The bristles are not the same. The size, the Unbrush is a little bit bigger, so they're not exactly the same brush, but they work almost identical. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. In my vlog, I said that I'm probably going to say they're the same. But when I actually pulled it out and looked at it and saw the difference in the bristles and felt it and everything, and the weight of it is a little bit lighter. Not a lot lighter, but a little bit. I thought to myself, yeah, this one, I'm going to be able to tell the difference. But there's really not that big of a difference. You can do either one and feel good. Now, I will say that my other curl keeper, the larger one that's for adult hair, this is for kids. It's marketed to kids, but of course I'm an adult and I'm using it. But the bigger one that I have, if you've seen that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is a little bit bigger than this, I believe. But to me, the bristles on that one are a lot softer like this one. So if this isn't available, you definitely can get that regular curl keeper as well. I think all three of them are great brushes for detangling. You know, they pulled out similar amount of hair, and yeah, and my hair was pretty tangled. It probably didn't look like it when I was detangling because I used the but it was tangled. So yeah, there you go. All right, guys, hopefully that answered your questions. If there's other questions that you have that I didn't answer, put it in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer it. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.